So this week I went into London again. It's quite a nice place to go walking and having a look, as I've mentioned before. I was walking along the South Bank and there's this space along the edge, sort of up towards near where the ITV building is and the Oxo building and things like that. And as you're walking along there, when I'm going to say the tide or the flow of the river drops, you get this bank of sand along the side of the Thames. I've walked past it 100 times and I've seen it and I've thought about it and I've looked at it, and I took a few photos on my 100D, Canon 100D. It's just like test footage, test ideas sort of thing, and then comparing it to work that I've done before on beach photography and things, it's used in the same way. Like, people are interacting a little bit with the water, like skimming stones across it. There's people having their lunch, reading books, walking the dogs up and down the bit, like this bank of sand. Okay, it's not like the dictionary definition of a beach, because I was looking on Google Dictionary, when you just type in definition of, and it says the word ocean in it, which obviously the Thames isn't really an ocean as such, though enough whales would swell up it, I guess, to call it an ocean. It's used very much the same way. And then you look at the concrete side of it, like I was mentioning about Rob Ball's work, Anna Fox's, who looked from that side of things, the concrete, looking back out into the mainland and into London in this particular instance, and then looking at people from the bank outwards, and it's got the same sort of idea, but there was a strong mirroring of what people do at the coast there, not so much in the idea of stripping down and stripping back as you would do at the beach. I mean, you're just wearing a pair of shorts and a bikini and swimming costume and diving in the water. The water's horribly brown and very grim. I wouldn't recommend anyone swimming in that. But just the nature of how people want to relax, the sun's out, it's nice weather, people trying to get the most out of the day in terms of the weather. I mentioned earlier that I was going to take photos whilst I was in Broadstairs and then compare them to street photography. Well, this has given me a new channel to look down, as it were, the Thames channel. I can do what I did at uni, studies and information and viewings, and looking at those photographs up against what I've seen in London recently. And I came away thinking, no, Andrew, you're looking for things that aren't there. But I flicked through YouTube and there's a clip of one of the videos I found. I'll make sure to reference the source of the video correctly in the comment, and not comments, in the description and all that below. But somebody else had called it a beach, and then I typed in beach on the River Thames into Google Images, and there's a few very touristy images of the same space. And then I thought about it a bit more, and if you walk up the Thames again toward the Tate Modern, you continue to get this look and feel of a beach. I don't know if I mentioned it in the episode or vlog 3 about mine and Zoe's walk through London, walk through Broadstairs and Margate, but a particular bit that I didn't film was the walk from Margate to Westgate, and finding the space more instead of just knowing where to walk. Like, I've been to Margate lots of times, I know the walk from Ramsgate to Broadstairs to Margate. This whole extra section that we just wandered upon was just an interesting way of engaging with the area. It wasn't it. It's that whole action of finding things that are there. Like, Westgate isn't anything new. I'm going to make more of an effort over the summer and over the next few weeks to pop into London and photograph this space and in this area, just to get a clearer idea of what it is that I think I've seen and what it is that I think I'm working with. And it's a nice easy way to blend street photography into my beach work, because although it's not getting in the water seaside, it's a space away. And I think I've read another book somewhere of a place in America that's a bit like this, where people go down to the water but it's just a river. So yeah, looking at this space as a potential route for the project to go. As well as over the summer, I'm looking at going down to a few more beaches, photographing people and how we engage with water is where this project is mainly going to go. So that's the new focus from this week's vlog. The upside of photographing in London is I can still treat my sports photography interests and board-based sports. Aim being that obviously walking down the South Bank, you've got the South Bank Centre on your route down, and there's very talented skateboarders, and so you've got that space as well to work and look from, as well as just people passing by. People watching, I think, is a very important part of photography, in that one of the main points of photography in my view is to record life as it happens. So the reason I've got this is to generally, the only reason you would get a mic is to improve the audio or improve the quality of the audio that you're working with. I knew I'd have to do this at some point because at the moment I've just been using the on-body body audio from the cameras, and then every now and again using things like this or my phone to pick up the audio, which works, but then it's a matter of overlaying it, lining it up, and just generally mucking around with things that I'm not the best at in the world. You know, I'm au fait enough with it, but not a master of audio. My specialty is in photography. So I went with a micro instead of the Go, because of its size and weight. The cost as well, it's like a tenner cheaper or something, which is helpful, but it shouldn't really be a massive swaying decision in why you get something. You know, you should be looking at the quality as what you need it to do. This one's small, it doesn't overhang the back of the camera that much. The jack fits in. I don't really need an extender at the moment, but that could be a choice in the future. The macro just seemed like a sensible choice to go with. It's compact, it's small, it comes with a dead cat, which is a ball of fluff, a bit like my hair, that sits on the end of autofocus, that sits on the end of the mic, and just helps to cut down wind, noise and problems. I think it should improve it somewhat, especially on the outside. I don't know how well it's going to do here. I guess the next thing to improve is the lighting and not just using a reading lamp offside of the camera. You know, that's a problem for the next time. I think the main issue as well is also to stop looking at the monitor. It is a bit distracting, it's just over there. It's a rookie mistake and it ruins communication between me and you, I guess. So just testing the audio quality again of the Rode Video Micro, seeing how it actually does outdoors, mainly testing out the audio for this. So from reviews, and what it has with it, the dead cat, it should deal okay with the wind and disturbance. Looking at the audio on the back, on the little audio spike meter, so I just ran back over some of the audio I've taken and discovered that I'd set the mic's pickup range a bit too low. That was changing the sound in the camera, as the Rode Video Micro doesn't have any on its own body ability to change the audio. So I'm just working from the camera's inbuilt settings. You can do it manually, automatic, or disable sound altogether, which would be pointless with a microphone. So it seems to be dealing with the wind quite well. Again, I'm only using it currently off the inbuilt audio. Seems to be doing alright from what I can hear from the camera's audio output. Obviously I have to wait and see what it's like when I get it home and put it on the computer and listen to it out of a proper set of speakers. I definitely feel this was a solid idea, and again, depending on what your price range is, Rode mics, have a full range depending on your knowledge and capabilities. Video Micro is the right one for me. It works well enough, it's got enough simplicity for what I need. I just want it to improve the audio so I can talk to you whilst I go about this project. To sum up where I am with the project at the moment, I'm finalising it back down to being pretty much what I studied at uni. That's where my interest in photography has gone so far, and from the surf photographs back when I was doing them more regularly is where most of my work went to, most of my interest came from, most of what the books that I read are related to, the sea and that. So I'm definitely going to continue down that path of study and thinking. In itself is going to be looking at, again, how we engage with water and areas in which we're part of it. Focus on capturing some more portraits and some more just observational scenes, as well as street photography in and around the areas that I'm photographing them. I'm going to look at booking a few days down in Cornwall or Hastings or Brighton and just seeing where I did. I wasn't able to get to Brighton this week. It's part of the goal, didn't achieve it. Not particularly disappointed, not particularly let down by it, just something I need to still put on the list. And I think that's the next set of aspects to go with this. I need to start writing things down that I need to achieve within this project. I've almost exhausted my film supply, so I'll either need to get the next batch in for that or work out from looking at the photos of films whether that's the way to go, or I need to re-evaluate it. And photography is just a nice outlet for creativity. If you're not particularly a great drawer or painter, it's another way you can still experiment within the arts, just using a different medium and platform. And definitely understanding the need for a flip out screen or a monitor the more I do this, in that I'm guessing how the audio is spiking at the moment, and I'm guessing that I'm in focus or that I'm correctly exposed, because with the 100D the screen isn't a flip out, it's just flat packed. I'm just working on guesswork, which is fine. Again, if I was recording something I'd be able to see it, but because I'm recording myself, that's what I'm limited to. Just make do with what you've got. So that about rounds it up for this week. Next week I hope to go down to, or back into London and get some more shots at that beach. Try to get a bit more context of what it's about, what it's like, how the tides work, what people do with their space in general, as well as just go and do more street photography and probably take a few more shots down at the South Bank. I think in the next few weeks I've got centre parts coming up again, so we'll make a video there. I've got a couple of shoots planned within that time space of being there. I might even talk more about the equipment I'm using and how I intend to progress with the project. As always, that's what this whole vlog's about. So most of this video has been testing the Rode Video Micro. Seems to be doing a good job at the moment from what I can hear from the little speaker that's on the camera. I'll see how it's actually done once I get it home. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed this week's. Catch you next week.